Good evening and welcome to Bent TV. Coming up tonight, Queer Idea, Lip Service, but first, Squeal.
Y'all need to watch under y'all damn nuts.
Hey, welcome to Squeal. I am Andy McNamara. I am joined by Lisa-Skye.
Hi there.
Connor Lingus, Jessie Dean, and Tom Foolery. And tonight we are talking about the wonderful topic of families. And I'm going to start with a little story. When I was maybe 7 or 8, my older brother told me that the government had changed the law. And from that time on, this meant yes and this meant no. And I said, really? And he said, yes.
That would be hard to keep up, I imagine.
Yeah.
Did he do it for long?
No, but I'm pretty gullible. So, like 5 minutes later, my mum said, oh, you know, what do you want for lunch? Do you want a Vegemite sandwich, which was my thing every day? So I said, yes. And she said, what? And I said, yes, Vegemite sandwich. And she said, what's the matter with you? And I said, don't you know anything? The government's changed the law. And this means yes, and this means yes, and this means no.
The comptroller has decided on new movements.
Yeah. And
Big Brother's watching, guys.
I was always sucked in big time.
Were you the youngest?
I was the fourth in 5 years, and then there's a 10-year space to my other brother.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was the victim very, very often.
My sister used to always trick me that 5 cents was a big amount of money.
I used to clean my sister's bedroom for $1 for all day.
Oh, yeah.
Slave labour.
Yeah, you're just like, go get me a drink or make me a sandwich. I'll give you 5 cents.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. I eventually worked my way up to $1.
So siblings, I have a sibling, and I'm quite a petite young man, and he is a full foot taller than I am, and he's my little brother, and I hate him. Don't you hate that, when your little brothers become a lot bigger than you are? It's not nearly as cool, though.
A very younger, very successful sibling could be a stressful thing too, I reckon.
My younger brother looks a bit like this. He's got actually his hair's longer and wavy and curly, and he's got a lot more. He looks like Jesus. He's 17 years old, and he looks like Jesus.
Does he spend a lot of time gluing it on?
Not as much as I do. But he's looked like this since he was about 15. So he's like this. He's so tall, long hair, facial beard going on, emo.
Yeah, my brother
deep
has the same
voice.
voice.
He's like, yeah, a 15-year-old. He gets ID'd. No, I mean he doesn't get ID'd. He gets. Like, people look at him when he says that he wants a child concession. They're like, what are you talking about?
How old is he?
He's 17 now.
Hopefully he won't
he's
get
a little
crucified.
bubby.
He's tiny, but he's massive.
He's a little bubby that looks like Jesus.
Yes.
Baby Jesus. Yeah.
That's my bro.
Lisa, your family, have they fucked you up?
Yeah, that's why I'm a comedian. Oh, showbiz.
All comedians. If a comedian's not a bit fucked up, I don't want to see them because they're not going to be funny.
Yeah.
What do they talk about? Hats?
Dull, exactly.
Yeah.
Good hats. There's no humour in perfection.
Yeah.
That was oddly profound. No, my brother and I are exact opposites. He's a deeply private person. It's almost as if he's got nothing to prove. And he's married to like a beautiful, beautiful woman. He's very conventional, and he, does not like me talking about him on stage. So I don't really refer to him in my comedy. My parents, however, love it because they're both like stoner show ponies and like, oh, she mentioned us. Oh, we exist. Yes. But yeah, I had a fairly eccentric upbringing that's currently being looked at in psychology, so I'm a better person. Oh, families.
My sister says the first 2 children are always opposites.
Yeah, well, I'm the oldest, and then my brother's 18 months, and
they sort of respond to each other and go.
We have the exact same sense of humour, though.
Oh. Okay.
And yet everything else is opposite. Like he enjoys taking things souls away for recreational pleasure.
Taking things souls.
Yeah, like he'll hunt a deer.
Yeah. No.
And so when I went to Japan,
the soul out of it.
Yeah, like
I was like
the voodoo god or something.
No, but he, like when I went to Japan, I full-on hugged deer because at Nara Park you get to do that. And I was like, oh, I love you, little deer. Please love me, even though I know that my brother would kill you with his bare hands. But then he eats
Bare
bare
hands.
hands.
Is it an exaggeration, or does he actually?
I'm gonna kill you.
That's
That's a little.
not an exaggeration.
And you said he was normal?
Afterwards.
The deer hunter.
No, but he's an amazing person, and just it's interesting at kind of family get-togethers because he's like the Safi from AbFab, and my parents are Patsy and Eddie, and I'm just like the natural progression of that.
Yeah.
It's funny that you won't talk about him on stage, but you do on TV.
In very vague terms.
Vague terms.
He wrestles down, snaps their necks, and takes their souls.
But he's nice.
Oh yeah, fucking oath I do. Yeah. No, we love each other dearly. It's just that we're just very, very different people.
Quite different.
And because he's normal and not.
Yeah, completely normal.
Is the deer thing normal? I don't know.
I think it
There's
is
stuff that we just don't talk about in our
know.
family. Like we don't talk about politics or feminism because my parents, or asylum seekers because my parents, and then I don't talk about like queer and gender theory to my brother because, it just we just don't talk about stuff like that because it's easier.
But family, I know families can be different, but I think it's a really important thing. I really question when people shut off their family forever, unless there's been, some terrible, terrible thing. But I think some people just let it go, and I think it's worth more than that. You spent a lot of time together, and there's a lot of...
Yeah, but it's
I love
a
my
lot of
family.
time. I mean, but that's coming from a privileged point of view, at a lot of time that isn't actively fucking you up every second of every time you're with them.
Yeah, I see your point, but...
But still, you should even like them even though you want to shoot yourself in the face
Yeah, I
while
see
you
what
do
you
it.
mean. I
And
see
snort
what you mean.
Prozac.
Yeah.
when I say
just
family,
quicker.
Foolery, by the way, when I say family, I mean people you actually know, not just people you're biologically the father of.
Oh, okay. Because I got a lot of family out there.
Because my dad was a huge slut growing up. So my brother and I, and when we told my parents this, they were horrified. But we always just, assumed, well, yeah, we can't date anyone who's about 5 to 15 years older than us of Greek heritage because we might be related to them.
Yeah, well,
And we always just thought that growing up as teenagers and stuff. And my parents said, what do you mean you've discussed this? And you've thought, like, yeah, Dad's probably got a bunch of them.
I've got a whole bunch of family that we're not in contact with. So and they live in Melbourne. So I always had a blanket rule of never date a white.
Yeah.
Never date a white.
Yeah.
Only Asians and blacks. That's cutting out a lot of the gene pool, but that's fine.
No, my last name's White.
I read an interview with Todd Fisher, Carrie Fisher's brother, and he went to this Hollywood party. He was an actor, not as successful as her, and he picked up this girl, and they were chatting, and they were about to go home, and they found out they were half sister and brother. They had the same.
Yeah, which is why whenever
would you
I was
find that
speaking to
out?
someone, I'm like, hey, did you know your dad? Are you Greek?
After his parents got divorced, his father never came back, so he didn't know about his siblings. And
Orkies.
Good they found that out on the way too.
before or not after.
It's like Blue Lagoon all over again.
Yeah, hey, let's move on. Hey, you're watching Squeal. Hope you've had fun. We have. We'll see you next time.
You're watching Bent TV. After the break, Queer Idea.
Tonight on A Queer Idea, we happen to have a couple of guests that are sort of bar-related, so I thought, wouldn't it be fun just to talk about one of the things that happens in bars, which is picking up, and what you've seen and what you've experienced. So I have with me, I've got the lovely Regina Rimswell, and Jake Cini, who's a DJ and has been in Brisbane at the Beat nightclub and has recently returned. So thank you very much for coming along. Now, you guys spend time in clubs professionally. Is it obvious when people are picking each other up?
Yes. Yeah, very obvious.
Yeah? Okay, so what would you see?
Basically them having sex on the dance floor.
Like actual on the dance floor?
I've seen more penises in a club than I have anywhere, and I frequent public toilets all the time.
The Beat DJ box is actually up a little bit, and you could actually see over the whole dance floor.
Yeah.
So, and I used to do shifts there, like from start to finish, 9 hours. So I would actually see which guy went off with which guy on the dance floor 5 minutes later with a different one, 10 minutes later, gone to the toilet. So you can sort of see everything happening there the whole time.
That's fantastic. It's like a smorgasbord.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll just have some bacon bits now, thanks. That's great. So what about what about, and actually, I was going to ask, what about pickup etiquette? Is there something? You kind of have really just mentioned it, because I was out once and I was interested in this guy, and he was kind of being very non-committal. And then I realised that he's actually trying to figure out whether he can get a better date for that night. Yeah. And that is just that was that moment of turn off.
Last sandwich syndrome. Like when you go to a bakery and you think, oh, I want this, but they don't have it, so you just have to settle.
Yeah, or, you know, that sandwich that's been left when it's in a platter and you just kind of go, ooh, it's a bit dry and crusty. Am I going to do it or not? It's 3 o'clock in the morning, the pub's about to close. I probably will. So as a DJ, I guess you're a bit of an identity on the night. Is that, how does that work then?
Through my whole career, you know, 30-odd years, I've seen it, and I've seen so many DJs, and it doesn't matter what you look like, how old you are, there's a bit of a status symbol, and you'll get hit on all the time. Right, just because you're the DJ? Just because you're a DJ. Straight club, gay club, even weddings, parties. Even when I was working in a strip club, I got hit on by a lot of straight guys going in to see the strippers.
Why, because you were clearly gay, or...?
DJ. I think it's a DJ status thing.
Right, okay, and there's just too much testosterone going around that night. Yeah, okay, interesting. So are there DJs, have you come across DJs who take advantage of the perks?
Yes, I've seen that happen. Not me personally, but I have, I've never done it, but I have seen it happen. Do you want me to tell you?
Tell me the horror story.
Okay, it was quite a while ago, and thank God he's straight, he won't watch this show.
Don't name his name.
No, I came into a nightclub, I was working in a straight nightclub, and the DJ was off, you know, spinning the vinyl as it was back in the day there, with a very big smile on his face, and right underneath the DJ box I could see a young lady on her knees.
Like right there and then. Did it affect his playing?
No, actually, he went off.
Really? I thought maybe that's where we got the from. What about yourself as a drag persona? Do you get a lot of attention?
Yeah, but mostly from weirdos or older men, which that's fine if that's your thing, but I think they just think if you strap on some tits and a wig, you're free game.
Right.
And, like, I've had people come up to me and grab my ass and just say, oh, sorry, I'm checking the work area, which, well, I can't blame them, because, look, but sometimes it's just a bit, no, don't touch, I'm so expensive, like, to put together, and once one thing comes off, it just falls apart. So.
Yeah. And actually, I think that's tough because, I'm not necessarily you, but a lot of the persona of drag queens is that it's very sexual and very out there. And, you know, I've had drag queens whack their hands between my legs without an invite, mind you. So, yeah, I guess that's a danger of the... no, you'll have to go closer. It's not that long. So I guess that's one of the dangers of it. Now, what about... do you guys ever get... Like, do you pick up?
I've been in a relationship for 5 years now, so not too much. Like, yeah, I enjoy the attention from other men, but I wouldn't go to the, like, have sex with them or something, like, quick tickle under the table. Like, who's that hurting, really? But, you know, I don't really pick up. It's more them trying to pick me up, and I'm not interested, basically.
So, how did you meet your partner?
Well, I actually met him twice, but didn't realise he was the same person.
Yeah.
The first time was at, like, a local pub, and it was an absolutely disgusting person standing there, and I thought, oh my God, how embarrassing. And then I walked into a Des because everyone knows that I've got a fetish for linen. And I saw this guy, and he was very well dressed, obviously because he was at work. We started going out. About 6 months later, I just made the connection, oh my God, it's the same person, what have I done? And then Bob's your uncle, fat wife syndrome, I'm too fat to leave. So,
but you have a lovely thread count, because you are addicted
and a great
to linen.
discount.
What about yourself? You are partnered or have been partnered?
No, I've been single for about a year.
Okay, but you have been partners before?
Yes.
Yeah. So when you do get asked about, you know, the options, what goes through your mind?
Well, whether or not I'm attracted to that person, if I am, well, yeah, why not, you know?
No, but when you're partnered.
Oh, when I'm oh, yes, yeah, you're talking about, when I was partnered, and, as a DJ, it was always tough because, like I was saying, you get hit on. Well, you got to be good, don't you? I mean, we're all guys, and you sort of get tempted and go, what if I do? What if I don't? But no, I'm a nice guy.
So you have hesitated?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Cool. Well, I'm glad you did the right thing in the end. That's the main thing. Now, what about, do you guys know anything about being online and the etiquette there?
Yes.
Yeah. I've only got about a minute to go, so...
Yep, manhunt, grinder, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, you know, I'm in my 40s, so I've got to take whatever option I can.
So is it so from your single experiences, is it different or the same as trying to pick up at a club?
I actually like it because I think you can drum up a conversation easier. I don't drink, so, yeah, I find you can be a little bit more real, even though it doesn't feel like it. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, and so any, like when you've met them, are they reflective of what they've written?
Some are, some aren't.
Right, okay, so there have been a couple of shocks. Now, didn't you actually have like an altercation just recently online?
I won't go into too much, but chatted to somebody and then we went out to a bar and I was very lucky to go home together. Yeah.
No, I meant... so you had a picture up of you in gold lame pants.
Oh, yes.
And then some hater came up. What did he say?
He said to me, why are you in your 40s looking like a twink in those gold, shorts?
And did he have a personal profile of his own?
Yes, he did, but he had no photo up there. You know, nothing for him. And I said, dude, I'm out and I'll dress whatever way I want to dress.
Okay. So there you go. You can stay at home or you can go out and you can meet people. Look, thanks a lot for watching Queer Idea.
Thank you for watching You're With Bent TV. Coming up next, lip service. See you after the break.
Think before you speak.
I just got the last time I told you when you told your mother and your mother told me that you told her the truth, but I told you not to tell me.
Welcome back to another edition of Lip Service on Bent TV. My name's Simon and I'm here with my lovely panel, Nate, Jessica and Craig. Now we're going to start with something quite a serious one tonight, straight into it. Are you all ready?
Yes.
Okay. Our caller was a 30-year-old woman, married, also partnered with a woman, and 3 months pregnant with their first child. She's a little bit taken aback by the public reaction. Congratulations are very quickly followed by detailed questions about the mechanics of their pregnancy. We think those details are private. Why does it matter how we got pregnant? How do we deflect the questions politely?
Yeah, difficult one, isn't it?
It is a difficult one because I think people are curious, you know, to try
with
and
good
work
intentions.
out.
It's not, you know,
a lot of the time, probably with good intentions. But it is a private issue, and they certainly shouldn't feel they have to talk about how it's happened. I mean...
And I suppose it depends on who's asking. So if it's another couple who maybe they actually want to get pregnant, it would be completely different than a random person on a train. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of, it might be dependent on who's asking the question. So if it's a couple, then maybe, you know, that's a bit different and maybe just, you know, give a little bit of information, do a nice thing, sort of share that. But then if not, then just say, oh, well, we got pregnant.
Perhaps they could prepare a little fact sheet to just give to people.
Yeah, birds and the bees.
I like that. Yeah.
This is how it works. Yeah.
I
guess the natural assumption is that there'd be a father involved in some capacity. So that
donor.
Yeah, or donor.
That's probably probably a very clever assumption.
Sperm is needed at some stage, I believe. Our medical expert could probably
is it
help us out with
most
that.
of the time, yes.
Yes, most of the time.
Who knows?
So
it's come from somewhere. And ended up somewhere. And that's basically the end of it.
And I think if, you know, this couple, people are asking with bad intentions and wanting to, you know, be inquisitive and, you know, invade their personal information, then they just say, no, I'm not, you know, going there.
But in the interest of trying to sort of educate other people who might actually be interested or maybe thinking of, you know, following a similar course of action.
Yes, like Nate says, it depends on the inquiry.
The context of the inquiry. Okay. So perhaps a fact sheet preparation?
Yes.
Good idea.
Depends on the context of the situation as to whether, you know, you should tell them to get stuffed or perhaps, you know, give them some information to help them out. Alrighty, I think that's, let's move on to something slightly less heavy. Now, where's the next one? Here we go. Oh, sorry, slightly less heavy. Perhaps I should retract that. Oh no, let's do I'll go to the one. This one's about tonight. The night I tell my girlfriend of 3 years that I'm not ready to get married. She is. Even though that means we will be spending a year or so in a long-distance situation without the level of commitment she's looking for. I want to stay together, but she's told me very clearly without marriage, it's not going to happen.
Not going to happen. Mm.
When did she write this in? That's what I want to know. It's tonight's the night. We might have missed the boat.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
yeah. Well,
so sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that. Never mind.
Still, you haven't given us much time.
Thanks for
really.
that.
You know, perhaps a negotiation with your partner. You know, I know it seems an ultimatum, but I think these things, there's a middle ground for this sort of stuff, isn't there? Surely, if the relationship can survive.
Because it's a bit cut and dry.
And
to
very,
say, look,
very
it's got to
cut and
be
dry, ruthless.
Long distance never works.
Oh, it'll all end in tears.
It'll all end in tears.
It'll all end in tears.
It could work.
Could work.
Never.
Long distance.
They've got
With
3
these sort of
years
ultimatums.
behind them. They've got 3 years behind them. I think, you know, that's...
Show me a long distance relationship that's ever lasted.
Angie and Brad?
Ever.
Show me one now.
Show me one.
No.
Show me one. Do you know of one?
Not off the top of my head.
Give me some time. I might be able to find one somewhere.
I want one from
my friend, Sue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sue.
Sue.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is
Long
Sue
term-
real?
No. But I'm sure that if she was, she would have been in a long-term relationship.
Right.
Long distance. And
Long term,
fine.
long distance.
Yeah.
And where did they live? Sue and her friend?
Peru and here.
Ah, Peru,
Nice,
right.
nice.
Was her friend
That's-
Peruvian?
Yes.
It's a very
Right.
long...
How was the language barrier?
Oh, it's not an issue.
Not an issue, right.
No.
So Sue
language
spoke
of love.
Is there a Peruvian? Is it?
Peruvian?
Is it Spanish? What do they speak there?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Can
it's
you call Sue, please? So we may have missed the boat on that particular problem, but so apologies. So please, can you get your problems in a little sooner rather than leaving it to the last minute? We can't possibly give you a view in such a short time scale. All right, let's just here we go. We had that one last week, didn't we? Yeah, so we won't do that one. I feel my girlfriend, she's told this person, their girlfriend, their partner, has told them that she's having bi-curious feelings.
Oh.
She's a little bit concerned about the future of the relationship and should she continue the journey with her bi-curious partner.
Okay, so the partner's a male or the partner's a female? Do we know that? Do we know if the partner's a male or a female?
2 girls.
Oh.
Okay.
Ah, and she's having some thoughts about
one of them is
men, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yes. Bi-curious.
It's just
that's what that
yes.
is.
It usually goes the other way. That's what I'm
Trying
thinking.
to work out
It's
whether
diversity
to...
here.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So she's trying to work out whether she supports that, maybe goes on the journey with the partner.
Or maybe lose her, if it turned into something more, I suppose, or... I would assume that's the problem. I mean, I'd feel a little bit uncomfortable.
I suppose it depends, because is it just attraction without... Because, I mean, I think that if you're in a relationship, you are going to be attracted to other people at other times, and it's whether you act on that attraction or not. So if there's the feelings and things without the action, or if they talk about it and there is going to be action, or whatever, it's a communication thing. And I think if they're both open and communicating well, then it's not going to be...
old chestnut again, isn't it? Yeah. Comes up over and over again. Communication.
Yeah.
I think, that's the problem with all of these questions, isn't it? They haven't even had a chat first.
Yes. And they don't contact us soon enough.
No.
As in the last call.
Well, exactly.
So
Yes,
we can't really help there. So they have to communicate.
Absolutely, yes.
And it's about whether they act on it, but obviously she can potentially act on it if communication and the agreement has been reached.
And they need to discuss whether they're going to have an open relationship and what if they're bringing other people in, for bi-curious satisfaction, then maybe she could be okay with that. Maybe. I don't know.
So it's all about communication, as is lip service. We'll see you next time.
That's our show for tonight. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to visit our website to see past episodes, find out about volunteering, becoming a member, and sponsoring of Bent TV. Until next week, good night.